Hey, thanks so much for your support of my YouTube channel, Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I really appreciate your support. Hope you had a great holiday weekend. I want to talk to you a little bit about the Bears and the fallout at House Hall today. So, Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren spoke to the media. And Ryan Poles had a really curious look on his face, like he didn't want to be there, like he was sour. And the reason why is because reportedly Ryan Poles wanted to fire Matt Eberflus after the Patriots game. And you can understand why. The team was not going in the right direction, and George McCaskey put a halt to it. Like, no, we're not going to fire him because he's got 2+ years left on his contract. And it had to be the players like a Jalen Johnson and others that had to step up after the Detroit game and said, we're not dealing with this anymore, because there was too many losses and too many games in which the spotlight was on the head coach for not pulling the trigger, for him not being able to make a strong decision to try to help the Bears tie or win games. And Jalen Johnson stood up and was cussing him out, reportedly, and Eberflus had to be ushered out of the locker room in Detroit. And so that was the end, because players saw it, Kevin Warren saw it, Ryan Poles saw it, and Eberflus, of course, he saw it himself, and that was it for Eberflus. Again, there's no reason for Matt Eberflus to be out there twisting the wind on Friday to explain what happened with the Bears and another loss. And so he was fired a couple of hours later. So now we fast forward to Thomas Brown. Thomas Brown is now the interim head coach. I thought he, again, very solid at the podium, spoke his mind. He says we can't have any more division in the locker room, which is great, and we'll just see what happens. You know, he also is about accountability, including the losses that the Bears had. That's something different, right? People believe that Thomas Brown is the new flavor and should be the head coach for the Bears moving forward. Thomas Brown said himself that, you know what's going on with this Bears team. You know that we're not winning games, and some of the issues with Caleb Williams falls at my feet too. This is with him as the offensive coordinator and as the guy that was the backup to Shane Waldron. So think about that. Before he even coaches his first game against San Francisco, Thomas Brown says, yeah, some of the issues with the offense is at my feet too. So I think that Thomas Brown is going to be a candidate to be the head coach for the Bears. I'm not sure if he's going to get the job, but I think that he's going to be a candidate for the job. But I guess my big point about this is that the Chicago Bears, once again, are at step one. Kevin Warren said the same things when Eberflus was hired as he said today about accountability and trying to get this thing right. Words are great, but actions are even better. So they could talk about trying to right the ship and find the right guy and the leader of men, which is stupid. Find a leader of men. Just find a head coach that knows what the hell they're doing on offense, defense, and special teams, that has every base covered, that can get the players to a certain level so they can be in the playoffs every year. That's what it comes down to. But I just want to let you know, when George McCaskey steps in there and tells Ryan Poles, no, we're not going to fire him yet. Let's just wait. It took the players for this to happen. George McCaskey says that he's just a football fan and not a talent evaluator. Well, he's meddlesome too, and that's a big problem. How can Ryan Poles generally manage the team if the owner says, no, don't fire a certain guy? That doesn't make sense to me. It just feels Raiders. It feels Giants. It feels Jets. It feels Carolina. You can't win that way. You can't have a meddlesome owner trying to make football decisions. Eberflus should have been fired earlier in the season, and he was not. So now the search is on for a new head coach for the Chicago Bears. Who do you want as the new head coach for the Chicago Bears? And I think Thomas Brown did a really good job. But who knows if he's going to be the next head coach moving forward for the Chicago Bears into 2025.